Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. So initially we had a little bit of a drop on the CPI numbers and then a solid bounce, but it's one of those scenarios where we have to look under the hood because our most important stocks, as far as how they impact the market and all of these ETFs as a whole, and I'm talking Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they were all up and the vast majority of the rest of the market was down. So if I'm looking at just SPY or just QQQ, I'm not getting the complete picture, which is why we need to look under the hood and see the details of what is going on. So overall, some consolidation out there today. The daily uptrends are very important for the bulls to maintain, and that means the lows of Thursday are key support levels we're watching on a lot of names. Let's see where they stand. Before we get into it, we're running a 1-month trial for our swing report, only $18.98. Promo code TRIAL18. I'll put the link in the description of this video. Just make sure and cancel after your 1 month is up if you do not want to be automatically charged for the subscription after that. So we got SPY with a bearish candle closed near the low of the day, but again, the low of Thursday is the level that matters if you're looking at the daily uptrend. So simple statement, if 427.52 is holding, the bulls have complete control as the daily uptrend is still intact as long as that level is holding. If the bears break the low of today tomorrow, daily consolidation will be underway, and we'll be watching that level. We would likely see hourly RSI get oversold before that level comes into play. And last time we've seen hourly oversold conditions in SPY, we've seen significant buying of the dip. So what would have to happen would likely be hourly oversold conditions during daily consolidation, and then a weak bounce cooling off hourly RSI, and then seeing another leg down. The recent times the hourly RSI has hit oversold, that's marked the bottom for days. QQQ, same thing as far as a bearish reversal candle on the daily. Again, the majority of today was big tech higher and skewing things, so to speak. You know, you look and you see QQQ green and SPY green, and then you look down and you see 65, 70% of the market is red. But the hourly time frame, bears will have to confirm follow through. With a confirmed hourly downtrend, last time we saw hourly oversold, it marked our bottom for the last few days, and the most important support level is that Thursday low of 354.42. So same deal. If we break the low of today, daily consolidation underway, and 354.42 is key support. IWM, daily lower high is set. So we topped out at 226.89 on the bounce. Pulling back, some of this has to do with the financial sector starting earnings and having an initial bearish reaction. IWM has more financial sector holdings than QQQ or other ETFs. So anything above 217.85 is a daily high or low. If the bulls are going to regain control, they have to confirm a daily trend change. And of course, the bears have to confirm a lower low by breaking 217.85. Again, yet another name where the low of Thursday is the key support level that we're looking at. And there's a lot of growth names that have potential daily bear flags. ARKK, potential bear flag if we break the low of Thursday. Daily downtrend is confirmed. XBI, the biotech sector, which we're about to look at, same deal. PLTR, same deal. There's more. There's one name off the top of my head that I'm forgetting, but you get the idea. There's a handful of bear flags on the daily that are close to confirming. And any broader market consolidation, we will likely see another leg down in these growth names. We know we're scouting weekly higher lows, but there's no sign of it. And if a name like PLTR gets to daily oversold conditions when we are scouting a weekly higher low, that's when I start to get interested to try and establish a potential swing position for a weekly higher low. Financial sector. So red day today after a big green day yesterday. How this inside bar breaks from today is going to be key tomorrow. We have more earnings tomorrow and on Thursday. But if this inside bar breaks bull, it's a higher low and higher high with follow through. If this inside bar breaks bear, it affirms very strong resistance in the low 37s, and we're heading right back down towards support in a tightening range. So those are two very different scenarios, but the main point and the main takeaway for me, yet again, is inverse relationship. QQQ was going up. Let's just compare 15-minute time frame. So XLF dropping all morning. QQQ going up all morning. We started to roll over at 1 p.m. Eastern. XLF at 1 p.m. Eastern started its bounce. So we were still seeing inverse relationship between the two. The inverse relationship favored the bears a bit this time around, just because XLF was not bouncing as significantly as QQQ was dropping, and because other sectors were red today as well. But again, you're not going to see market fear unless all of our major sectors are at the low at the same time, and we continue to see inverse relationships preventing that from happening. Healthcare sector, low of Thursday is what matters. 127.11. If that holds, the bulls are just fine in complete control. A little bit of a pullback today, but not notable, and still very strong overall. Bears have to prove it to shift any momentum. So the biotech sector is one of the weaker growth names. Lower high is set on the daily at 134.64, and we broke. No, we haven't broke support, but we're headed down to it. 128.24. If that breaks, the daily downtrend continues. We are scouting a weekly higher low, anything above 118.23, but there is no indication of that weekly higher low forming. And if we break that daily support, the daily RSI will be in the 30s, and we'll be paying attention to daily oversold conditions if we get them. SMH, resistance 262.10, 262.49. We topped out at 261.24 today. Excuse me. And we have to see the low of today break tomorrow if the daily lower high is going to be set, and then we would scout a higher low compared to 248.89. Overall, solid bounce. Bulls holding well today. Bears have to prove it if daily consolidation is going to take place. Solar sector, anything under 92.49 is just a daily lower high. And if we pull back, we're then looking back to the low of Thursday, 84.05 support. The bulls must confirm a daily trend change back in their favor for a weekly higher low to try and form. And again, it's that low of Thursday for so many individual names. The low of Thursday is the most important level short term on the daily charts. MSOS started with a strong day today. So we've got some news catalysts in the MJ sector where Senator Schumer is introducing a bill tomorrow for the MJ sector, well, for marijuana in general. And there's rumors that it's going to be removing it from controlled substances, allowing for stocks to uplist on major exchanges, tax benefits going towards those who have been negatively impacted, FDA regulating. These are all rumors, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. That being said, we know it's a bill being introduced, and we know the government's really slow, so it's not like we're going to get a reaction as far as anything out of the government anytime soon, but we had a bit of a bull move in response to that, and the trades that I took today were based off of that being announced, because it was announced, and everybody that's paying attention to the MJ sector had that information, but the herd, the rest of the millions and millions of people around the world who aren't paying that close attention don't have that information yet. So I was making a play on these names, anticipating that media coverage is going to pick up on this tomorrow, and that there's going to be some later buyers who are not as in the know that are going to buy once they hear about it. So that had me looking for bullish entries today, and I did enter MSOS this morning at 40.86, and I guess we'll do the trade review now. Entered TLRY. So we had market weakness in response to the CPI numbers, and Canadian MJ was still set to gap up open. So that showed me they were still holding strength, and I was watching TLRY pre-market, and I said, I was live streaming, and I said, if 1630 holds, I'm going to make a bullish entry. And why did I choose 1630? Because we were just building a base of support around that level, and I chose 1630 because it's a round psychological number. And so we bounced off 1631. I got my fill at 1642, and we had a 5% move from there within 15-20 minutes. So very nice follow through. I ended up with a day maker today, and it was a successful day, keeping that slow, steady account climb going. But I also gave back a day maker because I was up a 2-day maker after the first 20 minutes of trading today. So honestly, there's not much I would change about how I traded TLRY. I had a good entry. I exited 35-40% of my position at 17.14. And again, my play is based off of tomorrow. And I would look to sell the news tomorrow for my short-term trade. I wanted to swing TLRY and MSOS. But we gave it all back and we faded. So exited a good chunk at 17.14 and kept a good chunk. And I was looking for a 15-minute higher low. And this is one of those scenarios where I said, once the 15-minute higher low is set, I'll put my stop under that level and we'll need to see the bulls keep control from there. And we just never set the 15-minute higher low. Lower high every candle for 8 candles into a little bit of a bounce. So I gave back way more than I wanted to on the partial position that I kept. I flipped it a couple times on the way down. We did have some little bounces there. I mean, we bounced from 1687 up to 1714. That's almost a 2% bounce. And then again, 1677 to 1705. Again, a 2% bounce, a little bit less than that. So I did flip it a couple times for 10 cents each. And then I exited when 1644 broke because that was a 15-minute higher low, just way lower than I wanted it to be, and then exited the rest of the position. So in the end, gave back too much profit. But again, like I said, honestly, looking back at everything and knowing what my game plan was and knowing that I'm looking towards tomorrow, I don't think I would have done much different. The only thing I would have done different is selling half of my position instead of 35-40%. But that's not a major difference. And again, it was just giving back profit. And I gave it a long leash because I had instantly 5% of profit cushion to work with. I entered MSOS in the morning as well, anticipating that USMJ would be a laggard to Canadian MJ because Canadian MJ names are listed on the NYSE and the NASDAQ, and the USMJ names are on the OTC for the most part. So they generally slowly follow as laggards. So I entered MSOS at 40.86 this morning on the way up. And again, that's adding to a position that I already have. I have a position from 37.90s, so I was averaging up. And again, it's a play based on the bill being introduced tomorrow. In the end, we started with just healthy hourly consolidation, no red flags whatsoever, really comfortable position, and then really the last 10 minutes, we just absolutely dumped. And whether that's arbitrage going on between Canadian and or Canadian and US exchanges, whatever the reason, it was just a very bearish last 15 minutes here. And after hours, we're seeing a little bit of a bull reaction because this is the details of the bill, the rumors of what's going to be in the bill coming out. So it's not game over yet. I did not swing TLRY. I did swing MSOS. And it's a double top, 41.36 and 41.39. So if we do not break 41.39 tomorrow, I will exit what I added today. And I'll probably keep my 37.90s because that's a comfortable position. So in the end, solid 2-day maker right out of the gate. Gave one of it back, but account did close at all-time highs. Just some little tweaks to be made to keep more of those gains next time. The VIX, watching for a daily higher low, anything above 14.25. And key levels will be 21.29 and 21.82, along with this downtrending resistance line. Bulls have to prove it, just like the bears in the broader market have to prove it. Dollar bulls with a bullish reaction to the CPI numbers, keeping the daily uptrend. Daily resistance of 92.85 still remains, but we're right there. And anything above 92.14 is a 4-hour higher low. So the bulls have a lot of space to work with to maintain the 4-hour uptrend next time we consolidate. And again, it's that daily uptrend. We're not going to set a weekly lower high compared to 93.44 as long as the daily uptrend remains. And the bulls did a good job of saving that support level the last couple of days. Again, as I keep saying, gold bulls are very pleased with where we stand comparative to the dollar. Gold right now, it's one of its highest closes that we've seen in the last month. And the dollar is nowhere near its lowest close in the last month. So we are holding on well comparative to the dollar, but Still unable to confirm the daily trend change. We have to get over 18.54 for that daily trend change to be confirmed. Silver is much weaker, and silver is close to being a weekly bear flag. Miners are trading sideways. We pretty much have a double bottom and a double top. Double bottom 33.30, double top 35.18 and 35.05. And then today we topped out 34.92. So we're range bound sideways for a month. And right in the middle of that range. And again, I do not believe the metal bulls will see any follow through unless the dollar loses the daily uptrend. Oil, slow and steady recovery continues. 4-hour uptrend. New higher low is 40. Make that 73.68. If we lose the 4-hour uptrend without breaking the high of 77, our daily lower high is set. But bulls still grinding back up towards that recent high. Natural gas was stronger than oil yesterday. Oil stronger than natural gas today. They're very similar on the daily and just taking turns a bit. And we would have to see natural gas break 3607 support if we're going to set a daily lower high and open the door for a possibility of the bears to confirm a daily downtrend. But for now, bulls are holding on just fine. Still. So that's it. Haven't taken a ton of trades this week. 2 trades yesterday, a couple small losses. Wasn't really feeling it yesterday. And 2 trades today to make back more than I lost yesterday, which is the name of the game. Waiting for some volatility, some nice volatility in SPCE today. There was a play off the low of pre-market, which I did not make. The low of pre-market was 36.82. Held that level by 60-some cents. And we did end up with a very nice 10% plus bounce. In hindsight, I would have liked to have played that trade instead of TLRY, but that's in hindsight. So still keep an eye on SPCE and AMC because they do have the volatility for day trading. And we'll see what the reaction to the bill is tomorrow when it is official and introduced. Don't forget to do good things out there. Have a good rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow. I think we gotta end there. Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of ChartGuys.com here to teach you how to tame the charts, get rich, get buff all at the same time. We're proud to introduce to you the Big Bull Bodybuilder Barbell here for a limited time only at ChartGuys.com. Act now for a limited time and we'll send to you 47 DVDs with such exercises as the bull flag, oversold bounce, the spinning top reversal candle. After following our carefully curated system, you'll be confident enough to make money on the charts, show some skin at the beach, and yell in all conversations.